going to make a wonderful noodle pudding, very easy. And the first thing I'm going to do is put 12 ounces of noodles in boiling water and keep it uncovered for 8 to 10 minutes. And then while that's cooking up, we're going to take some margarine or butter, half a cup, and add it to a pan, 8 by 12 pan. And if it starts to boil like that, just lower the temperature and just make sure it's completely melted and remove it from the stove. And I'll show you the next step once the noodles have been cooked. It's nice and tender. I've already tasted a piece. And make sure you drain all the water out and then get it into a big bowl. And now I'll show you the other ingredients. Now I take the melted butter, I pour the excess into the noodles, and then I take and just spread around the excess on the sides of the pan, set it aside while I get the other ingredients in place. Now here's the fun part, mixing in the extra choice ingredients. Now I'll add sugar. It's 3/4 of a cup, and raisins. I prefer golden raisins. And chopped walnuts, along with a teaspoon of salt. And the very last thing is the egg whites, and I add that into the top. And now I'll mix it all around. Once you fold over all the ingredients, especially the egg whites, it is ready to be put in, except for one little thing. You want to make sure you sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon and sugar on the top. So I have it all prepared, and just want to make sure that my hands are dry, so you'll see the cinnamon and sugar along the top. And you might want to try a little strainer, but be careful, because you want to make it even, but you can do it that way and get along the edges too. Good. There's your noodle pudding ready to go in the oven. The noodle pudding has been baking for 40 minutes, and now I'm going to take it out and see if it's brown on the top. And that it is. And I'll move it over to a cooling rack. Once it's completely cool, I'll then cut pieces. It's been a while now and I'm ready to do the cutting. So I'm very careful about first making sharp edges on each slice, and then I will take a little spatula and lift her up, and there's one. They're all coming out very nicely. And I'll just be able to fit in 4 of them on this plate, and they look absolutely delicious. And I know I have someone, my videographer, who's going to let me know exactly how they taste.
Delicious.
I noticed that one noodle pudding is already gone. You have 3 left.
Mm-hmm. Right. You got that right.
What do you like best about it?
It just tastes delicious, really.
And what are the things that you taste most in it? I mean, there's the nuts, there's the raisins.
Well, it's mostly the noodles.
The noodles
Yeah,
themselves.
and a little bit with the nuts. It's nice. A nice product. I'm very satisfied.
I'm so glad you like it.
I recommend this to everybody in Wakefield.
I'm going to start off with an orange glaze for the Cornish hens. So what I do first is I'm going to add some sugar and cornstarch. And I'll just mix them together. I've got it on medium heat, and I'm going to add orange juice, 1.5 cups. And I'll stir it until it begins to thicken. And that will be the first step for the glaze on the 2 Cornish hens. Now I'm making the stuffing for the Cornish hen, and I have a small onion, and I've already cut slices both ways, and now I'm making small pieces, and that should be pretty good. And if you notice, I've got gloves on because this is a very, very messy procedure. And I'm going to take and add this to the stuffing. Then I'm going to take some melted butter or margarine and a little bit of water, add that, along with 1 egg, or as I have, an egg beater, the equivalent of an egg, and a handful of raisins to add some sweetness. So there's your stuffing. And then once I have this mixed in, I will begin to put it in the 2 Cornish hens. Now here goes with the first hen. I prefer doing it with my hands as opposed to spooning it in. and just push it as far in as you can. And one more maybe. There you go. There's the first one. Now I'll just turn it around and we have a second, and I'll take and squeeze it as best I can and push it into a cavity. And then the very last thing that we have is to add the topping, the orange juice, cornstarch, you name it. And there you have it. And if you have a little bit left over, it's not so bad. You can just try to squeeze it in as best you can, because I really didn't measure out the amount of breadcrumbs that are necessary, but it looks good. I'm going to add the OJ mix very carefully. Let it drip over the hen and keep half of it. So you've got a cup of orange juice mix, and the rest will be put on once the hen has cooled down. So just check, and there it is. It's just about a half a cup, and we'll save the rest for later.
Wow, does that look great? I can hardly wait to eat it.
It is my pleasure to show you the results of this show with all the delightful Cornish hen and noodle pudding, and it's relatively easy to put together. So I recommend that you try it, and it can be for holidays or just for a beautiful meal like you saw my husband enjoying with me. So I hope you try it real soon. And here's a close-up of the Cornish hen with the orange sauce and the beautiful raisin nut noodle pudding. Enjoy.